Yeah. 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 I ain't trying to meet your bad vibes right now. Only one motive, good vibes right now. So back up off me, homie, right now. Just let me see you make a hater feel bad right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of the Big Dawg podcast. I am one of four. I am Ocho. To my left, we got
Mac.
To my right, we got
Tanner.
To my far right, we got
Big B.
And we got a special guest in the building today. Carolina Panthers communication operator Kennedy Harvey's in the building. Kennedy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. This is the first episode, so it's going to be interesting.
First of all, let's start with how do we come up with this idea, right, Tyler?
Yeah.
How do we come up with this?
Yeah, you two are sort of the Tanner and
Me
Sergio.
and Big B were on the patio the Four Seasons, and we figured we spent enough time arguing about sports with each other that we might as well might be entertaining for other people to hear because we get pretty heated sometimes. I know Mac and Big B go at it pretty good.
Buddy.
And
Oh,
Phil.
buddy.
Mac does not know sports. I'll let you guys know.
Right,
Right now.
it's a popular thing.
That's crazy.
I spend at least 2 hours a day listening to sports podcasts. It's fun. It's cool.
Figured it'd be nice to have guests in the building, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we got Kenny in the building. So, let's get started. So, Kenny, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, I came to Carleton for my first 2 years of school studying journalism. I loved it here, but Ottawa is a very, political-based journalism. And so, I got working with the football team. I loved it. And I really wanted to transition to be able to do that more so. And so, I guess an opportunity kind of came for me to go to TCU, and I decided I wanted to pursue it. Didn't know how it was going to work out. It's $86,000 a year to go there, and I was like, I definitely will not be going there. But one thing kind of led to the next, and I ended up getting a pretty nice scholarship from the football team to work for them. And also through academics, I got some scholarships, so it ended up being about the same that I was paying here. And so I decided to go there. Everything transferred over. It was amazing, and I did my first year here.
How does that even happen? How did you learn about the opportunity?
Yeah, I was just considering it all happened so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were with us one day, and then it's just like, oh, I'm going to TCU. I'm like, oh, okay.
I think last time you told me, actually, that you were heading over.
Yeah.
And I was like, how
Yeah, you told us at Junior Ravens that one day. You're like, oh, I'm gone tomorrow. I'm like,
A guy showed up wearing a TCU hat, and I was like, oh, by the way, I'm kind of
it was just like,
casually I'm going to go there next year. And I was like, oh, sure. And
so what was the process for you? Like, did you research into it? Like, other schools were options, or it was just TCU?
I've always loved college football. I've watched it my whole life. TCU is a team that's just always been up there. Yeah. I've loved them for their academics. They're just above and beyond. Yeah. And I've always wanted to experience Texas football. So I was like, well, what school could I go to? And TCU was just one that checked off everything on my list. Mm-hmm. And so that was the only place I applied. And the lady who was processing my application in international affairs, she's like, hey, I had to write it was a year-long application process. I had to write, I think, 4 essays. Wow. And the lady processing my application was like, hey, so my husband is the communications director here. And, I can't stop smiling when I'm reading your essays. I would love to forward it on to him. Can I do that? And I said, absolutely. And he called me, and they brought me down for an official visit, and I got to meet Coach Patterson, and it was just, the coolest thing. And so, and then one thing led to the next, and I went there.
So how about you're working with the Carolina Panthers this summer?
Yeah.
How does that work? How did you come about that?
So Mark Cohen, my boss, I worked really closely with him this past season. He gave me a lot of opportunities. I guess I developed a lot stronger relationship with him than a lot of the other people that are working in the office because, that's my family. My team is my family. Yeah. Being so far away from home, whereas most people can go home on weekends or I guess not weekends, but I'm there all the time. So, if there's a Thanksgiving Day game, I'm there and I'm working it, and then I go out and go for the team dinner and whatnot. I'm very involved with the team, and so he loved that about me. He loved how dedicated and committed I am to my job, and so he asked me if I would be interested in working with an NFL team this summer.
Dude,
Obviously,
So
obviously, I would love to, and so
That's sick.
I got it.
Just like that, like, oh, you're a
You wanna do
good
it? Yeah.
employee. You want to go work with the Carolina Panthers. I'm
well,
like,
he
oh.
hadn't told me what team, and I was like, well, I don't want to be somewhere lame in the summer. I don't know. I don't want to be
Carolina's
working
pretty
for
nice,
some
yeah.
team that I'm just.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. No, absolutely. My dad wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm like, it'd be kind of nice right now.
No, I'm not a Mayfield fan.
Oh.
So I wouldn't have gone there.
That's another topic.
That's true. That's true. That's
Big
true.
12 beef right
That's
there.
another
Yeah.
topic right there.
So I got a phone call, and it was from the Panthers communications director. He was like, hey, would you want to interview with us? And I was like, right now? Like, can I have time to prepare for this? He's like, oh, yeah, no, absolutely, you can have time to prepare. I just wanted to know if you'd be interested. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Everything kind of worked out, and so, yeah, I'll be going there on July 20th.
That's crazy.
So excited.
Where do you sit, like, when the team plays? Like, are you, like, on the sideline?
I'm on the sidelines, yeah.
Sure. And like what, like,
That's awesome.
what do you exactly like? What is your title?
Yeah.
Like, what is your
So-
title?
What's your role?
Yeah, like
So-
what's your role? What do you do on a day-to-day sort of thing?
I guess I don't really know what my exact title is. I'm in communications, sports communications. Here it's called sports information. There it's just communications.
Okay.
And that's like the PR person for the team. So
Really? So you're like doing the interviews? Because like I've seen a few like
well,
clips
I'm
of
not
the TCU
doing
stuff.
the interviews. I make sure that nobody can do an interview with any of the players if I'm not there.
Oh.
They can't, like. So I make
Big
sure I
shoots,
prep
big
them before
shoots.
the interviews. I make sure that they don't say anything stupid. So I've got my work cut out for me with Cam Newton. And then afterwards, if they do say something dumb, I'm like to the media, don't do that, don't run that, please don't do that. So yeah, that's basically.
So you're going to be standing next to Cam when he's doing interviews?
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's so cool.
It'll
So
be fun.
how long is it like an internship? Like how long? Internship.
Yeah.
So like how long is that going to go on for? Like is it training camp? Is it into the season?
It's training camp and preseason.
Okay.
So,
and is there like opportunities? Like you still have to finish your degree, right? So like, is there opportunities within that? Like, are you going back to TCU? Like, what are your plans?
I have one more year at TCU. So after that, I'll be going back to TCU to finish my senior year up.
Okay.
I'll be working with TCU. Hopefully, a little bit of work with the Dallas Cowboys will transfer over that. But
Another question. Yeah.
just like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to be there for, I think it's 3 weeks. So it's training camp and preseason. We
Okay,
have 4
cool.
preseason games that I'll do. And yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. And you'll be traveling with the team and everything. Like,
Yeah.
like what is the difference between like? That's a question I had. Like, what's the difference between like Canadian football versus like American? Like, you obviously haven't done anything with Carolina yet, but like TCU to like Carleton, like what's like obviously funding's
Like
a big thing.
maybe not like the not like the fans are
The
saying,
act-
but like the inside the actual
vibe,
team. Like
the
what makes
vibe,
it so
the
much
vibe.
different.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't really know.
Because you were on the bus with us, right? Like
Yeah.
I think there's just different. Like there's gotta be different vibes.
I don't think the vibes are all that different. I mean, you guys love what you do. You love your game, and the mentality is still there with both groups, I guess. I love it. Like, I loved working with you guys. I love working with them. I don't think there's a big difference between the guys that are there. I mean, I guess they're really there to play football. Like, there's the education side of it really doesn't matter. I mean, TCU actually, we are, I think we have the highest graduation rate of our football team out of any team in the NCAA, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty special, but I mean, they are there to play football, so their mindset is very focused.
How many guys got drafted this year?
There was 3 that actually got drafted, and then 10 others signed as free agents.
Yeah, you got a lot of good underclassmen coming up. Like, it's not, you didn't have the best draft class, but like your team's gonna be good next year.
There's always a couple. Studs.
Yeah, it's just
Who's playing quarterback now?
I'm not sure who's going
is
to
it
be
a
a
battle right
quarterback.
now?
It is.
Okay, so you said you're not a Mayfield fan.
Yeah.
So so you were on the sidelines when.
Oh, and he beamed the guy with the football for
Yeah.
warm-ups, right?
Yeah.
How, yeah.
Oh, Lord, that's.
Pardon?
So like, when that happens, right? When that happens, and you guys go back to the locker room, like what's the vibe like in like the tunnels or whatever when that's happening? Like,
I mean,
because they like whooped you guys.
when you're in the Big 12 anyways, like the
It's rough.
level of competition is
Yeah.
just already so much higher than if we're playing any other team.
Yeah.
There's a lot more on the line with that. So it's, I mean, we were already kind of in that competitive mindset, but I think that just pissed people off even more, obviously. Like, can you imagine someone throws a ball at one of your players and intentionally, and everyone knew it happened? It was already like just, they packed their sidelines with people. They had way more than they were supposed to have on the field. So we did like run on the field when they were warming up. We had to round the corner. It was like maybe 2 steps
And like he had
in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, like he had so much publicity that like it was just like blown.
Oh,
up,
it
you know what I mean?
on Twitter like instantly.
Like that's why probably their sideline was so full. It's just like everyone was caring about Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
He was making a Heisman run. He was like doing all this stuff. Like a walk-on guy at Texas Tech goes to open. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like all this, and now on top of that, it's a rivalry game. You know what I mean? Like
I think
I can
everyone
only
was
imagine.
upset by it, but we knew that we had to get our head back in the game.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't do the best job at that, but I actually didn't know about it until after it happened.
It's sort of like do you guys remember our playoff game here against
Oh,
Ottawa?
yeah.
Whenever like there was like the
With
flag
the
incident,
flag
the
and
flag.
oh
Like that's how I
my
sort of
goodness.
that's how I characterize it. Like it's sort of same
That's
thing.
how it translates.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like
Cardi is
they like
Yeah, Cardi is Baker
yeah,
Mayfield.
Cardi,
Cardi, listen to this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's how I sort of like thought of it. It's just like that. Like just like that's like it like we were in their head as soon as that happened. Like as soon as that happened, they tried to like
a little more to the viewers.
yeah,
like, what
yeah.
I wasn't too involved.
So like
I would
you were on the field though, but like it was essentially like during our games we got a tunnel, whatever. We let the other team run out first, and then this is a big playoff game. Like Ottawa U for like people that don't know Ottawa football is like Ottawa U Carleton is like a rivalry game
For our
like,
viewers in China and Russia.
China, Russia, and all.
And Texas.
And
Yeah.
Texas, and everything in between. So, like, it's like a big rivalry game. Like, biggest, like, we honestly field probably the biggest youth sport game.
Bigger
And,
than venues.
yeah, bigger than Vandy, bigger than anything. It's like a Panda game. Like, there's like thousands on thousands of fans. So, we're playing these guys first round playoffs. They run on the field, and they usually do their thing, then run to their sideline. Then we run on through our tunnel and, like, do our little thing in the middle and whatever. So they run on, and they sort of like stay at the middle of our field, like just sort of like it seemed like sort of like waiting for us, right? Like waiting, like it wasn't really sure.
Flags,
So like one of our veteran players, Stephen Cardi, he like sort of run. They all just like everyone just. It's not like an F that situation, but everyone just sort of like runs out there, and like they're not moving, we're not moving. It's sort of like it sort of like clashes. Like one of their guys had like this big flag. Cardi like grabs it, rips it from him, runs away, like stomps the flag, rips it off and stuff. And so like they ended up getting like 2 guys, like key guys.
They're starting will linebackers out for the game.
Yeah, like 2 key guys like got ejected. And so like from that point on, like I don't know what their mentality was on the sideline because I obviously can't speak to it, but like us it was just sort of like okay, like blood in the water sort of thing. Like we then just went on to like
we kicked the shit out of them.
Yeah, we beat them pretty handily, but like it was just such like a big moment because like it's sort of like we've besides our first year as a program in like this era of Carleton Ravens, like we've beat them 4 straight right now, and so like this was the first time not playing the Panda game, and that anger of Panda game I felt like erupted. You know what I mean in this situation.
The first time we got the one at home field too.
And the thing is, as much as there's been like you speak to the rivalry, there's never actually that one incident where it's like
That was like the one.
You know when you go watch like you know when you go on YouTube, you go like LSU Alabama
like
pregame.
rivalry.
And you see them on middle field like just like beefing, like just like clashing helmets and shit. Like, we've never had that. You know what I mean?
Like, that sort of made it real.
It's big events like that that make a rivalry a rivalry.
Yeah,
That's
like, honestly, like
like
our OT wins, like stuff like that like feeds into it, obviously. And the time we snuffed you guys in the 3rd Panda game, but like that's another thing. But like just those like OT wins, like those tight games where you don't know that's it, and then like sort of this like off field stuff. Yeah.
So I think that's what we translate to like your Oklahoma and Texas.
And so I guess that's how you can see like Division I football and like our football, like obviously funding and stuff, and like I don't even know.
What
would you say the biggest difference is? Like not taking like obviously like the amount of money and support that they get. Like what would you say like the biggest difference is like?
I think
those 2 sides.
I guess the level of commitment from fans. Like, I mean,
that's
obviously,
what
Panda game is crazy for us, but that's marketed as like
it's like a
this
drinking
crazy
event for the
drinking
kids,
event, and it's a social atmosphere. But if you look at the States, that's how
It's
everything
It's
is.
religious.
Yeah, I thought it was, everyone loves football, and you go down there, and the girls are all going to be like me, and they're going to be like so in tune with the game, but they're not.
No.
They're there. They're falling off the bleachers. They are just drunk. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who's playing. Like, so it's just the way that it's, I guess, perceived by the fans.
Marketed almost.
Yeah.
It's such an event.
It's like ingrained. It's ingrained in their culture because there's solely towns that are all just college cities.
Yeah.
Like just like basically like there's a college there or a university there, and that's why they have
That's
a
the population of the city.
Yeah, it's sort of like out east, like like out east AUS schools,
like
like
Acadia or
Wolf, like
something.
Acadia, Wolfsville, like same effects a little bit, but
Yeah.
like same sort of thing, just obviously different,
Yeah.
but like same sort of vibe. But then it's just like money, football, like this is huge, like a part of American culture. Boom.
Yeah. And like the involvement with the alumni is insane.
Yeah.
Once you graduate from that school, that is like your team for life. You are a diehard. Like more so college football is more important to them than the NFL or anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, so like
And you're plugged. You're
Very
plugged for life.
prideful, yeah.
mhm,
And
very
you get
prideful.
cut by the NFL, you know what I mean? It's like,
Well,
you're like-
it's a business.
Yeah,
It's so different. Like,
but,
college is like
like-
you choose.
I mean, as much as college is a business, like,
to an extent,
it's like,
that's a whole nother topic.
but you get like
like
that family.
you get to
aspect.
choose
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like you want to be there. Like
Yeah.
you buy into it. Like guys aren't getting paid, so it's a little
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
paid.
you went there because you loved it. You
Yeah,
loved the
yeah,
pitch,
yeah.
You
It's like-
notice that a lot working in it too is like the NFL in comparison to the NCAA. Those guys are the ones that are trying to make it. They're still doing it because they love it.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
what they want to do. They want to make it
Right,
big.
yeah.
Whereas the NFL, like you said, it's a job for them.
yeah,
It's a business
It's
for
like,
them. So it's different mindsets for the players, definitely.
So say the OUA president, I don't even know what that is right now, gives you a call right now. It's like, hey, Kennedy Harvey, I need you to make some changes. How do we improve the Canadian League here? What's your pitch?
Give us like a top three.
Without mentioning, like dump a bunch of money.
We need millions of dollars.
Like,
Yeah.
what's your pitch?
like 20 million on the table.
Lord knows we need some changes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they did the U Sports big
Rebrand.
Yeah.
rebrand,
Just a
Or
start.
sorry, I should say U Sports then, not OUA.
Yeah,
say
yeah,
U
sorry.
Sports.
Yeah, you sports better.
Yes.
but I think it fell short. Just like I
It's
think
confusing.
it was thrown in so last minute
Yeah,
that you
it's
still
randomly,
see people
yeah.
with the like I don't know CIS banners.
Like I
Not
still call it
everyone
CIS
has-
sometimes. Like I catch
Yeah.
myself.
I walked in the
Exactly.
locker room and all of a sudden it was U Sports. It's
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, we got new footballs now.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't
It
really
It
marketed
felt rushed.
properly.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
felt
Mhm.
rushed.
But I think that they definitely need to focus on the fans, not necessarily the teams, because the teams are there. They've got
We're there
the
'cause we want
talent,
to be
they've
there.
got the
We need people to
competitiveness.
come see us.
Yeah, you need the people to come because
Sort of
I mean,
grassroots.
if we can't get people to actually show up to the games, then what's the point in advertising it on
So
TV?
true. That's so true. That's so
Right?
true. But do you think that's also could be a byproduct of like the product on the field? Like
I
No,
don't
what,
think
I
so.
don't say that.
you don't think
so.
that?
If you look at
Like there's some like I'm not gonna say name names, but there's some
whack
bad
teams.
teams.
But think about it. There's also a team in the States called like Clemson State
Yeah.
Yeah, like South
Christian
Alabama or
University.
something.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like what I think. Like if you look at, I see it as like okay, look at like the past venues that have like like the championship games. Like dude, like, those have been like pretty like exciting games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, look at like Panda, right? And then look at
Just big
yeah, just look at big
like
you know,
look at like
Western Laval.
Western
Western
Laurier.
Western Laurier, Western Queens, like Queens McGill, their preseason game, like they get a big
like,
crowds
dude,
for
like, it's
that.
some, like you know what I mean?
It's all about the image of the game. Like when they changed CIS to U Sports 2 years ago, the first big event that happened after they made that change was the Vanier Cup in Hamilton. It was
Yeah.
Laval against Calgary, and I remember the cameras would, like filmed the bleachers and it was completely empty. So when you
And
give
it's
an
tough
image
because
like
it's
that,
it's an OUA
When you-
like
exactly. So when you
stadium,
give-
and it's two out of conference teams.
Yeah.
It's like
Something's
so when you give an image
Yeah.
like that, people are gonna be like,
like this is your championship game.
this
like,
is this is your bowl.
This
You
is
know,
the
the big
preseason. Like,
this is
yeah.
Super
and
Bowl.
you
You
get,
know,
yeah,
like-
you get like bowl games. Like what did you guys play in this year?
The Alamo Bowl.
And where was that?
That was in San Antonio.
Okay, so it wasn't that bad. But you get bowl games like the Hawaii Bowl.
And
Or,
you
like,
don't
you get,
know
like,
where you're
yeah.
going. Like we could have been going
Yeah.
there.
it's like-
And they still sell out. They still
Yeah.
sell out.
Yeah.
It's still a huge event.
Yeah.
And it's not even like the national championship. It's just a
Exactly.
bowl game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like-
not- yeah, it's true.
I think it's like
The image
different
of
than what
the
you said. I feel like my stance would be
You
like
said.
I'm just gonna what Kenny said. I feel like my stance would be like go to like promote the teams and players. Because I feel like in the States,
Yeah.
as much as like I feel like in the NCAA, as much as it's like it's like a coaches run league
There's
sort of.
stars in the league.
The stars like promote. You know what I mean? Like when you think of Alabama, you think of like Saban or whatever. It's a
just the New England of the
Yeah,
you know what I
sure,
mean?
no.
Like just like
or when you think of like Clemson, you think
Star
of like Dabo.
Wars,
You know what I mean?
like,
You
yeah.
think of like, but I think it's like you have to promote like certain like images within the program to make it grow. Because like nobody wants to go watch like a team was like, okay, Western's playing Laurier, whatever. Okay, like, but who's on Western?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let us know.
True.
Who it is. You know what I mean? That's my
Yeah.
whole thing. That's
Yeah.
my whole thing. So like, I don't know. It's weird because I know
You want to be promoted, huh?
No. It's not even that. Because like, think about it. When you think of, even the NCAA, they don't really promote like players as much. Like you don't really.
They try to go away from that because of the whole money thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes and no, because you'll still see guys' jerseys on sale.
But
like
it's
stuff
also
like that.
easier when you've watched them all the way through. Like if you look at I coach a high school team back in my town.
Yeah.
We get maybe 100 people for a championship
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Whereas there, I have a little town of maybe 200 people in East Randolph, New York. I have like a little house there with my family that we go to, and they're state champions 3 years in a row or something, and they get like thousands of people in this little town of like 200 people.
Yeah.
So, and that's the same level.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
championship
I hear
game.
that. I think
all the way from the beginning, they're watching.
I think Quebec's got it. I think Quebec's got it figured out with like the CJEP program, like how they have that like sort of junior college feel with it, like because like CJEP is like they get fans. Like if you're like a Division I team like Vanier or stuff.
Like our Laval preseason games, there's over 10,000.
But the thing is, like, you can't like. What are you gonna do in Ontario? You can't like create a CJEP program.
I think there should. I know you can't create a CJEP thing, but like what I think it should be is like there should be more emphasis on like summer ball. Like you know what I mean? Like Riders gets a lot of fans back in the day.
Yeah.
So we went to the Sooners game the other day. Bantam. It was like it was pretty full.
That's
Like
true.
I think there should be a more grassroots movement in that aspect, and then you're gonna be more interested in the next
It
level.
starts with like stuff like the Canada Chat football thing.
Yeah.
Like that website.
Yeah.
That website is like.
We do have lifers. Like there are lifers.
There are lifers.
Well,
It's just not a lot
Or
of
like
them.
people go to what's that that you always refer to? Like Canada Gridiron.
Oh, okay, good.
Like,
My
that's like-
favorite.
that's like-
My
that's like-
favorite.
That's like a black market website.
Oh, it's like
it's
it's like 1990s
Yeah.
like blog.
That's
pages.
right.
Like people's dads.
Yeah, like you got.
Oh, 100%.
In the States, like every week there's like the ESPN top 100 players, whatever. You know what I mean? Like you got like, and like if you want access to that here in Canada, you just like pay. Like, you have to pay to go to Canada football.
that's ridiculous.
Like, what do you
That's
mean?
true.
Like I have to
Yeah.
pay. Like,
In Quebec,
it's like,
in
that's-
Quebec, there's always articles every week about even CJEP football. Like, oh, this guy's committing there. This guy's going there. So
Yeah.
it gets you to know.
That's what I mean.
people.
Like Quebec's got it figured out. Like if that's like, well, like all you CJEP can't do that, but like just transplant the CJEP mentality to more summer ball.
It's all about
You know what I mean?
it's all about who you're trying to appeal though. Because in Quebec, when you go to a Laval game or a Montreal game, it's always like older people. It seems like there's not that much students. When you look at the OUA, what makes the crowds most of the time is the students.
Yeah.
So you gotta appeal to the students to get the crowds in the OUA to get bigger.
Yeah, I hear that.
Compared to Quebec, it's a little bit different,
That's more about the history of like the
Yeah.
Who used to
You
go to
still
Laval.
get the fans, but they're also they're also older fans, right? Like you go to university at like 24, 23 there.
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
CJEP. So that's pretty cool.
It's definitely not like an easy like process to like figure out how to do.
No.
It is like challenging.
It's not like a simple one thing.
we
Do
don't
this
want
fits.
we don't want to make it seem like this is some like
like,
finger. But like, I think the thing we all we all agree on is that like I feel like the foundation needs to be like better. You know what I mean, in terms of like
I'm all about grassroots like that.
dude,
Like
just like make it better at the start.
you can't just like we're saying like I don't think you can just throw money at the situation like they're trying to like do with the rebrand like and like money's good like what Guelph is doing I think that's totally good
And
good for the
Windsor's
OUS.
athletic building too.
Yeah, Windsor's doing and like now Queens as well like because that just forces other teams and even us to an extent early on like I'm not saying we have horrible facilities but other teams because they've seen us have heightened their game. Like Guelph's building this new facility. Queens is Paul Richardson's like insane. Like they're building more onto it. Like I think that's gonna help because it forces other teams to sort of up it or fall off sort of thing. So any crazy like stories or anything like anecdotes?
I was about to ask.
Anything crazy with
like,
TC.
like recruit like ever have like big recruits to the school. Like what do they do if they're on their recruiting trip?
Yeah, stuff like that.
I don't
Like
really
that's.
know.
Yeah.
I guess
Do you handle stuff like that, or are you just straight team? Like, or is there any recruiting aspects to you? Like,
I want to get more into recruiting. I think that's a lot of fun. I
Mhm.
like to be able to give the guys a tour and tell them all about how amazing our program is because TCU's facilities are incredible. When I went there the first time, I was like, when I walked onto the football field for the first time, actually it was a year ago today.
Yeah, I saw
That's
that on
so
Facebook.
crazy.
Yeah.
I walked on the field. It was pouring rain. I stood in the center of the field and I was like, I can't even describe the feeling. I was shaking and I had chills and I was just like looking around. We're building an extension onto our stadium today, or this summer. So it's just
that's wild.
It's just crazy.
Like, how many seats are that? Like probably like 10K. Like we don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many fans do you get into a home game? roughly?
It's sold out every time. Like it is every game is sold out.
We're talking like 80,000,
Yeah.
like 70,000.
Oh, I don't know what the new is.
Probably
gonna
around
see.
6.
We can look it up.
This is why we have technology, fellas.
But
like, and you can't think of any like crazy stories.
Yeah, what's the
Not
one
really.
thing that stands
Like,
out?
yeah, like there's gotta be like one thing, like, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Do you guys know Jordan Spieth, the golfer?
yeah.
He came.
Jordan Brand athlete.
He had to do or he came to watch. What game was it? I don't know, a Texas team. And we were there, and I was supposed to go meet him to bring him onto the field after the game to just kind of like see the guys, whatnot. And I went to the seats, and I was like, where is he? He's not here. His family's not here. I've got these 12 passes to get them onto the field. What is going on? And so I had his cell number. I'm trying to call, or I don't know if it was his, but whoever the contact was, I'm trying to get a hold of them. It's like, my boss is going to kill me if I go upstairs and tell him I've lost him. Like, I have no idea where he is. And I look over at security, and he is just annihilated, and they're like trying to kick him out, and I was like, oh no, I thought I was gonna lose my job, but this is all going downhill, and so I ran over there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna deal with this situation, so I had to get him out of the stadium without people knowing that he was like as drunk as he was, which now everyone knows.
You're stopping a scandal.
Like, oh, Lord.
By the way, TCU's home field 50,000.
Wow. Plus the new edition.
Plus the new edition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jeez, man.
The new edition, I
Stopped
think,
an
is
instant.
20,000.
Security guards beat the crap out of Jordan Spieth. You stopped that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And he was wearing like the opposing team's like gear. So
Oh, is he?
What
What
team?
was it?
I forgot what it was.
Texas Tech, maybe something like
It's
that.
Texas Tech, I think. Yeah.
Wes Walker.
I
Shout
think
out.
it's-
Shout out
he's
Wes
a
Walker.
Texas Tech
Yeah,
graduate.
Shout
Yeah.
out Kenny Hill.
Oh,
Kenny Trill.
Patrick Mahomes.
what's up with him?
He just-
He went undrafted, didn't he?
He was a free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He signed?
Probably got picked up. He's good,
I
man.
don't know where he went,
He's on
but
arm.
he went
Yeah,
somewhere.
he does that around.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Really nice guy.
Yeah.
He threw the ball around with my little brother on the field after. Like, he was
Really?
trying to. It was Thanksgiving weekend. He's trying to get home with his family to have dinner, and he's like, my little brother was there, like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And he's like, hey, do you want to throw the ball around? I was like, oh my gosh, you are the sweetest guy. Like, they are all,
Yeah, like you have nothing bad to say.
I mean, I'm
understand their
supposed to do
position,
that.
you
I'm
know what I
supposed
mean?
to promote them anyways. Like, that's part of my job, but I have nothing bad to say about any of them.
Like none of them like big time G or anything. Like had like huge heads. You know what I mean? Like some 5-star recruit comes in and he thinks he's like the shit. You know what I mean? Like none of that. None of that. That's sick. Because I would
That's
just.
fantastic.
I know. Like I would think that would happen because these guys are just so like publicized and like put on this pedestal at a young age.
Some of them have like millions of followers on stuff.
Dude, they're like they got the blue check and they're like 16
Yeah.
years old. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
It's crazy.
Oh my god.
Are we good to move on to the Big Dog?
I think we should.
So this is how it's gonna work. This is called the Big Dog or Puppy segment. Okay. So we're gonna give you guys a headline, actually the whole table, and you have to let us know if it's a
Big dog move or a little pup move.
Okay.
Obviously, Big
Do we
Dog.
get a chance to explain our...
Yeah, like we're
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. We're not just gonna say it. Like
Okay, cool.
we'll all say it and then we'll sort of talk about it.
100%. Okay, we'll start with something a little light.
Okay, we're going into this. Let's go.
Let's
I got my notes ready.
We'll start with something.
Here we go.
I think everybody saw the video of the CFL player. I forget who it was. Hitting the fan on the field.
Yeah.
Oh, was it
Yeah.
yell? Yell?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't yell. I know what you're talking about. Young.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the fan.
He hired a Toronto law firm.
Yeah, no, they're gonna sue them.
Yeah.
Now, who does he sue there? Like, I know it's a civil case, so like, because it's obviously not criminal. So is it the stadium or is it the player himself, or is it just everyone?
It's gotta be the player.
I think
It's probably just everyone.
He's probably saying it's
No, but like
assault.
he could also say stuff like the stadium didn't do a good enough job of keeping
me up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like legit, you can make that argument.
There's
for shit
only
like that.
one security guard in the video.
Yeah.
Because
So.
we're, anyways, Big Dog or Puppy move as a CFL player
To hit him?
to hit him.
Oh, Big Dog.
Big dog.
Big dog.
Big dog.
I think that's a puppy move.
I think it's a puppy move.
That's a
too.
puppy.
I think he's a big
Yeah.
dog too, man. Okay, like
You're like he's the guy's probably like 230 pounds.
Yeah, the way-
the guy running around.
he was a
like
corner.
short guy.
Chill.
He
He
was
was
like
a
chill,
corner.
and he blindsided him too.
Yeah.
No, the guy. No, you see the
was
video. The guy's
a
running at him,
big-
and he just pops.
Yeah.
The way I see it is
It
this:
was a
you're
big hit.
you're a professional.
Yeah,
you know,
what are you
act like a
doing?
professional.
Let
you
the
know, like
security guy run
let the
around, chase
security
him
guy
around.
get him. You know,
Dude, he was like
it's not
selling
your
his
job.
teammates after. He was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super
amazing.
like, how do you hype
You
about
know,
that?
like,
I don't
that
know how you
sounds
hype.
right. You know.
I don't know how you're gonna hurt
And the
about that.
streaker came on the
Yeah.
field at Panda, and John Doe dropped him with a shoulder.
I would so.
be clapped.
But you got to think too, like you see that in like Division I football, and you see the coaches on this. Have you guys seen that video of that strength and conditioning coach just dump tackling that one streaker at a Division I football?
Oh yeah, sounds
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everyone got hyped at that. Like why is this different?
It's not the player. It's not the player.
I
The
think
player got to be accountable.
I don't know. I think
Yeah,
it's kind of
man.
weird. I think it's kind of like
What if it was an NFL player?
And like,
I
dude,
think that'd be weird too.
I think
Yeah,
it'd be
same.
weird to
no, but dude,
That'd
you
be
see,
worse,
like,
I think.
I've seen like videos of like NFL
Wait,
guys.
why is
Like,
that weird if it's the NFL on
I don't know, because it's just like you're a bigger dog in the NFL.
Nah.
no, but like I've seen like
See, that's a
That's
bias, bro.
That's
Yeah.
not how it works. That's not how it works.
I'm big dog move. You still big dog
Yeah.
move?
I'm still big dog.
Okay, I don't know if you got anyone watch the draft, the NBA draft a couple days ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the NBA has a new has new little promotion thing before the draft like starts or whatever. The parents or the player is only allowed to bring two like family members or friends to like walk the red carpet or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is it a big dog move or a puppy move as like an 18, 19-year-old to bring your girlfriend on the carpet?
I think it's a little pup.
Yeah, that's a
You
little
gotta bring
puppy.
a family. Guys,
Yeah.
right there.
No, let's say potentially like it's like you're not close to the family or something. Or yeah, say it's complicated. Say you only bring your dad and your girlfriend or something. Like, would you?
If the opportunity is to have both your parents there and you're like okay with your parents because you don't know
Yeah.
everyone's family.
No,
Exactly.
I'm saying like because you can bring anyone, right? You can bring like agent, a best friend,
Yeah.
like because you can have like 20 people at the draft ceremony, but the
But
red
on
carpet
the red
little
carpet.
thing is only like you can only bring two people.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, parents.
Like
They got
sitting
you.
around the table, you can have
You can have whoever you want.
Blood over anything, like dude,
Yeah,
like
you
Puppy
bring your
move.
parents first.
little
No,
pup-
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
He's saying if
No,
you
on
don't
the red
have,
carpet. Like they can still be there, but like the red carpet part, like when they walk in. Like when they
With all
walk
the-
in,
all the
they
cameras.
take
I'm
all
gonna
the
say-
camera photos.
I'm going to say puppy for a different reason than I think you guys are going to say. I'm going
Okay.
to say puppy because I feel like as an 18, 19-year-old, if you do have... How many times do you see, like, young celebrities with their girlfriends?
Yeah.
And then, like, when you see them, like, 30, 40 years later, obviously, like, it doesn't end up working out.
Yeah.
So, like, those pictures are going to be there for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So, do you want, as 18... Because these
Yeah.
guys are coming out of high school, like, legit 1 year...
Some of them already have a kid and married.
Yeah, legit.
That's the thing.
When you're college...
Yeah, like Will Greer. Or Will Greer from
Yeah.
West Virginia.
Yeah,
like he's like
I'll-
married with a kid.
I'll go with Big Dog because I think it's a personal choice. You choose who's important in your life enough to bring on the red carpet.
That's the tough thing. Every situation
That's
could be
the big
different.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
And I guess,
Kevin?
like, what do you say to your, like, girlfriend? Like, yeah, I don't want to bring
yeah,
you.
how do you? That wouldn't go over well.
Yeah, what? Yeah, from your
Like,
perspective.
what if
like,
we? Yeah, if you tell your girlfriend. I mean, I still think it's a puppy move to
Yeah.
bring your girlfriend, but imagine that conversation, like.
oh,
Hey babe,
Yeah.
by the way, I'm not gonna bring you on the red carpet
Some of
because
that
what if this
silence.
doesn't work out?
I think
somehow?
like, hey, I think I'd rather bring my dad and my agent.
But you're gonna be in there
Oh
when
my
you walk.
Yeah, like she's gonna be
you
in.
even said beside me on the thing. Just
Yeah,
like right here.
just
This
can't
is
be
for
with my red
you.
carpet.
This is for you.
I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree.
know.
I think that you want someone there who's been there the whole time with you, who's
Yeah.
supported
Yeah,
you and
that's a
helped
good
to
call.
get you to
Yeah.
that point.
Like,
Maybe your girlfriend has
especially
in the last.
At that
A
age,
little
like,
bit, but you're 18.
Yeah, you're
At
18.
At that age, the
Sorry,
longest,
19, 20.
the longest you're dating your girlfriend at that age is like max like 4 years, and that'd be absolutely crazy.
That'd be
That's all
crazy.
of high school. Like,
Unless
you
you're
know what I
LeBron
mean?
James, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. But like, if you have your mom and dad there, I don't know. They
Guy
drive
wearing a
so
Celtics
much.
jersey. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll move on. To
I
the
like
next
that one. That was
We'll move on to the next one. Here we go. Okay, Tom Brady recently congratulated LeGarrette Blunt on Instagram. LeGarrette Blunt posted his his Eagles Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it a big dog move or a puppy move to congratulate the guy that just beat you in the Super
Low
Bowl?
pup. Low pup.
That's
Low
low
pup.
pup.
Big
Dog.
dog, definitely
That's a
big
little
dog.
pup.
Big
Oh,
dog.
no.
I know they play together, but
What do you think?
They play
Tom Brady.
together.
Tom Brady fan.
I think it's big dog. Just
Yeah.
purely on respect.
Okay, you guys
Yeah.
talk what you think about Big Dog. We'll do Lil
I
Pup.
think it's all
They
about-
played
it's all
together,
about- it's all
right?
about
And they
respect.
won
Like,
2 rings together.
He's like said that him and like LeGarrette like have been like pretty like they were pretty close around the team
Mhm.
together, and like you see them after their like Seahawks where they were partying together,
Yeah.
like after the Falcons won, they're on the field, it's like call them the best ever. Like it's a mutual respect,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Some things are just
And that's-
bigger than a game.
And that's Tom.
It's
you
just
know?
what it is.
What's Tom gonna do?
Enough time has passed too that
Yeah.
like, and I don't think he necessarily said congratulations. I think he said something like you deserved it or you worked for it. You earned it. That was
Yeah.
it. Yeah, which I mean that's
LeGarrette's a grinder. You know what I mean?
that's
Okay, I'll change my stance. I'll change my stance to big dog.
Yeah.
You guys can do it.
Okay, you earned it, but like
Earned
still,
it.
man, like the okay,
Yeah, the-
okay,
yeah,
like
the
I understand your
competitor-
side,
competitor,
but the
yeah.
competitor in you, like I'm not gonna like if Ottawa U beats us or like Queens beats us or something, and I have buddies on the other team, and like they did something momentous, I am not gonna congratulate them, no matter what, man. Like
if
just
you
a
play
competitor.
together.
Even if I play together, like I have buddies on the other team, like I'm not gonna congratulate you for beating me in the biggest football game
Yeah.
of all time. You
But
know
what
I
if
mean?
it was reversed? What if he was congratulating
Yeah.
Brady?
Same thing. Like I wouldn't screw with LeGarrette Blount. Like
you wouldn't think that.
I would still be mad, man. Because like if I bet LeGarrette Blount wouldn't have done it.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, dude, like
Tom's that guy. You know what I mean?
Congratulating someone does not mean you're not pissed. Though.
No, I'm saying.
but
I think it's deeper than that because
No.
he beat him. Like he beat him.
And like, why do they have to do it like on social media? Like, why can't he just shoot him a text?
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
true.
Like, why
It's
can't you
very
just shoot him a
public.
text?
That's
Like, why you have to do it on there? Like, Tom Brady's so extra like that sometimes.
But it's just like shaking hands after the game, right?
Exactly.
You're saying,
I was
good
going to
game.
say, Richard Sherman right after the Super Bowl, like him and like Tom Brady talked all that shit. And right after the Super Bowl, they came over, shook his hand.
Yeah, that's like unusual. That's unusual. Okay.
Said you're a great player. Congratulations.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah, you can come up and say, "Listen, man, good game. You know, you deserve it." But then you can still.
I don't see it on social media. I don't see it on social media.
I understand that.
Yeah. Okay, here's the next one. Okay, so my friend got this like funny DM. Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna say what the guy sent her. Okay, and I want you guys to tell me if it's a.
Wait, a guy sent a girl.
What?
Yeah.
This DM.
Okay, here we go. So he says, "Hey, so I got pulled over while writing my original message to you. The cop came to my car and gave me the long texting while driving is dangerous speech. I explained to him what a DM on Instagram is and showed him your picture, and he let me off the hook. And he told me I better ask you out. When are you free? Question mark.
Little pop.
Oh, it's little pop. That's fake.
That's fake. That's
so
low
much
pop.
worse.
I think with those things though, it's a big dog move if it works though.
Yeah, like if that
If it
works.
works, it's a big dog move.
Okay.
I'm saying it's a puppy because it didn't work.
Imagine,
Oh, it didn't work. Yeah,
I'm assuming now because she exposed me.
Imagine writing all of that and just being left on read.
Oh my god. Or getting exposed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like getting exposed like this.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? I mean,
the officer.
Little pup move. I don't think I've ever.
like what if a guy? What if a guy went into
I've
your DMs like that?
You know, like how it pops up other or whatever on Instagram if
Other
someone's
one.
messaged you that like he doesn't follow you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Follow you.
yeah.
I've never accepted one of those. I'd decline
Really?
every time.
Really? That's
Every time.
Yeah.
that's.
Wait, you don't. What do you mean?
Like,
when
if
you're
someone
following
tries to
person?
message you-
No, if you're not following them, it's a message request. Yeah.
I sometimes read
Nothing good ever.
like it's always something weird.
No,
Remember
it's
that
weird.
Remember that thing I showed you?
Okay,
Remember that thing I showed you
Yeah,
on my Facebook?
Mac had a message request on his Facebook asking him to some guy asking him to do soft porn or something like that.
Yeah, dude. You want to see it's
Yeah,
messed up. It's messed up.
No,
I'll read it out. I'll read it out.
It's like because he's a football player.
Yeah.
The guy calls himself a pervert. In the
With the
message.
long hair.
Dude, it was so weird. Here, how do I find that?
Well, that is funny.
No, I
If you
kept
don't
it.
have them, you have to go to.
Yeah, where do I go?
You have
Yeah,
to-
like I don't even read them. I just press decline all at the
Oh,
bottom.
you're.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Anyone who has an idea about DMing Kennedy Harvey, can
Yeah,
jump
don't,
on.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
try.
There
Go
you
Don't
go.
for
try.
it. I've never read it
Don't
anyway.
try.
So.
Did you ever receive some weird stuff in there? Though?
Yeah, some weird shit. This is-
Yeah,
I don't
can't-
know.
from someone you're following. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, because we know you don't read the other
Probably like, I don't know.
Has someone ever shot their shot even relatively close to the way that guy was shooting his shot?
Like
Some absurd
just something
story.
like
some
crazy.
absurd
I don't
story,
think so.
man.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Really?
I mean, yeah, you get like dumb messages,
Yeah.
but they're dumb pickup lines. Nothing that's worth remembering.
That
I
guy's-
don't
that guy's
think.
trying to leave.
A request here. Okay.
Yeah.
Here it is. This was the message. Hi, I'm casting solid football players, no soccer, and or hockey players, QGFL, University, collegial, senior, semi-pro caliber, aged between 18 to 34 years old, pervert, highly provocative, into BDSM,
Oh,
with an impressive physique and intimidating look.
oh my.
Owning their equipment, required as leading actor. If interested, hit me up. Thanks.
I'd like to know who actually
This was at
responded to that.
this was at 2 in the morning. They sent me this in 2017.
Dark
I think he has
side of-
compliments.
Dude,
I think he
Oh,
has
no.
compliments.
that's messed up, man. An
Come on,
intimidating,
get
an
one.
impressive physique. Okay, obviously hasn't seen me with my
Big
shirt
Beast
off.
cheese, you didn't get a message.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I said after.
boiling under the sun.
Dude.
No, still
dude.
little pups.
Oh, there's
Don't
so
hide behind a screen. Go find a girl
Yeah.
out in public and talk to her. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay,
All right,
oh,
what's
by
next
the way,
one?
That girl obviously out of that guy's league, right?
Yes.
He's trying.
Yes.
Okay, he's trying hard though. I like the effort. I like
Yeah,
the
let's
effort.
shoot
I like the
shot.
effort.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Let's shoot a shoot. Shoot
Yeah,
a shoot.
yeah. Okay. Did you guys see the Paulina Gretzky thing where she's like celebrating on the 13-foot putt? Like she thinks her husband.
Oh, one.
No, it's not her husband. It's just it's Dustin Johnson.
It's her husband.
That's
It's
her
her husband.
It's
Really?
her fiance.
Yes.
Oh my
fiance,
God.
isn't it?
Oh yeah, they're like pretty much.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
What's the
they have
Pretty
kids
much.
together, no?
Yeah.
They're about there.
So
Okay, so my thing is, which situation was worse? Her thinking that her husband won, okay? Her thinking that her husband won, or the J.R. Smith situation?
What?
What's the Jared Smith? Explain the situation.
Yeah.
Jared Smith situation.
No, J.R. Smith, like him.
Game one.
No,
Game
End of
one.
the Game one.
He won the finals.
Oh.
When he didn't call timeout.
Oh.
Or her thinking that her husband won.
Oh, like that sort of like situation?
Yeah, what's worse?
Which is worse?
J.R.
J.R.
Smith.
J.R.
Smith.
No, let's be real.
Like I have secondhand embarrassment for her, but like J.R. Smith, like, come on, dude.
That was the
also,
shittiest moment.
She's gonna laugh. She's just laughing.
Yeah, like she can make an excuse. Like J.R. Smith is a paid professional basketball player. Like you gotta know that.
She can also just say she was celebrating that he hit a 13-foot putt.
Yeah. Spins.
No, but it came out like she thought, okay, so we're gonna go J.R. Smith.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, okay.
Bro, just smiling off the henny.
The only thing I can see is like in basketball, the score is constantly changing, whereas he was literally not up the entire game. He was behind the whole game, and she still celebrated.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
how.
And then why did someone else
I
call
feel like golf
timeout
as
too?
a spectator is more of like a calm as a fan. Like you're like,
oh, you gotta be quiet.
You're like, so you should be like in the moment.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah, I feel like as a basketball player, like obviously no excuse for what GR did, but like. I think you're like emotionally running around like, oh shit. Like,
okay, then we talk about what's bigger, the U.S. Open or the NBA Finals? That's like another thing. Like, what's a bigger moment?
No, I'm not really talking about like the grand scheme thing. I'm talking about like in the moment, like what was worse.
I still think JR.
I'll go with JR.
JR's worse.
That was embarrassing.
The Dustin Johnson situation would be like if he hit the putt and celebrated thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the second hand thing I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like he should know in his own sport that he's doing currently what is happening.
Yeah, that's the best way. That's the best way to explain it. Like just go like this. Go like this.
In my lifetime, this was probably the most embarrassing stuff I've seen Bradley do.
I bet, huh?
No, because they read his lips after and it said like he literally thought the game. He's like, I thought we were up.
Yeah, he saw it.
And then LeBron on the bench.
Oh
LeBron on the bench, just like finding out that like they had a timeout. He just died.
Do you guys think that changes the course of the series?
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
But like,
I still
it's a lot.
think the results the same. Like Golden State's gonna win, but like it might go 5 or it'll go.
It might get 6. It might go. Yeah. Like if they stole that first game.
Dude, that just takes everything out of your heart.
But they got 4 out.
That was the moment that LeBron's soul left Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
On the bench.
He never came back.
He's not coming back.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let's move on.
Can't be the GOAT ever.
Did you guys hear about the obviously the new Jay-Z Beyonce album?
Mm-hmm.
I heard about it. Yeah, I haven't really listened to it.
Anyway, so it talks about like their like unfaithfulness, and now they're being back together, whatever. Okay, my question is, Big Dawg or Puppy Move? Making an album talking about your like unfaithfulness, your relationship.
I think it's a pup move, man.
In that sense, I'd say it's a little pup move because like.
I think it's a big.
Because like I don't know relationship stuff.
I'm so torn.
I think relationship stuff should be like strictly like
between each other.
Between each other, but like I guess if you're on.
I think it's Big Dawg.
It's Big Dawg. I think that too.
They've both been writing individual albums about it
Yeah.
all along. So
Like,
why not make a collaboration when it's at the end of it?
And like when you're famous, like nothing's really private.
No, it's not private.
No,
Everyone
like,
knows.
this has already been publicized. Like it'd be crazy if like they just like released it out of nowhere and like this was like you're trying to get clicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like everyone knows this. Like Beyonce's like sister like punched Jay-Z in the elevator that one time, right? Like Solange or
and
whatever it is.
if you can make like money out of it, like why not?
Dude, yeah. If they're comfortable enough in the relationship to do that, then that's like, well, who are we to
still think
judge?
it's a little pup.
You guys still a little pup? Why?
It's just like they have a big impact on people, like in general. Like hip hop right now is like mainstream. Especially those who are legends. Let's be honest. So they have big impact on people. So you want to talk about you cheating on Beyonce or you cheating on Jay-Z?
But it shows that they can get over that. Like they're just like normal people. It shows like anyone can do that.
I think it's better to give an explanation for why.
I think it's a better role model thing to like go out and say, hey, this is what we did. That's how we're fixing it.
Yeah.
To like, oh, like we're just gonna like.
Then leave people guessing.
Yeah, and like just like
hide
behind
from this
like
angle it makes sense.
I'm just gonna go on a grand tour and just like.
Yeah, and okay, if they keep doing stuff like this, like I think it's played out now. I think it's played out now, but like this is fine for me. This is a Big Dawg move.
Here we go. Last question of this segment. Big Dawg or Puppy Move? Go and see The Incredibles, the movie by yourself.
By yourself?
Big Dawg move.
The new one?
Yeah.
The new one, Incredibles 2.
Big Dawg move.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, any movie by yourself, little pup move. Doesn't matter what.
I go watch movies all the time.
Yo, what's wrong?
You're a
with
skin
that?
eater.
Best feeling.
That's so weird.
It's actually it's actually pretty
if
nice.
If you have that movie that like, oh, like I really want to go see this, and you just try it out one day.
Because there's
I can't, man. It's chill. Feels so weird.
The best thing is when you walk in there, and it's like 4 to 5 people. You have your problem.
I've done that.
And everyone's judging you for walking in
No.
alone.
The best thing is
I'm judging you for walking in alone.
I see your point because the worst thing is when you're so pumped for the movie and you go with someone.
Yeah.
And they're asking questions or they're talking.
Yeah, contrast, or like
They're on their phone.
Yeah.
They're on their phone at minimum brightness.
It's
Just
bad vibes. Like, it's like you
Not
want
big
like,
dog move. You shouldn't care. Like,
yeah, that's the thing.
Ah, little pop.
If
You're
you
just
text
you're
people,
just a weirdo. You're just a
I know,
weirdo.
yeah.
You're that
Like,
weirdo at the movie.
Yeah, like movie theaters are like so like obviously like you're just there to watch it yourself, but you go with people like to enjoy it
It's
together
an
sort
event.
of thing.
It's going to a movie.
No.
listen. Let's say you text people and you're like, man, I want to see Incredible 2 tonight. You know, and
Yeah,
everyone's like,
nobody's down.
I
Nobody's
can't.
down.
What happened last
Just
Tuesday?
go.
You let me
Just
down.
go.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
that's another subject.
Hey, you didn't
right?
invite me to that, by the way. You guys went to Dead. You guys just dipped from the house on Deadpool. I was sitting on the couch. I'm like, oh, I was sorry, I wanted to go.
Listen, if no one can go and this is the only availability, why don't you?
Okay,
just
so
go?
why are you waiting for KC tonight to go see the movie tonight? Why don't you just go by
we-
yourself?
we swore to each other that we would
predetermined.
sit
That's
together. Yeah, but me and Casey's fandom for that movie is actually on the same level. So like, I would wait
No
for
pop
him.
move. You're skinny eater.
I just
Skinny
think
eater
it's
solo.
like chill
Skinny
vibe.
eater.
Like,
I
just
think
go
it's a
enjoy
big
it.
I've never
No
done
doubt
it.
about
I'm
it.
interested.
I feel like I actually like doing things by like.
I can't do
alone,
that.
too, so it's like-
I like
My,
it.
my
I like
social,
it. I think my
my
own
social
time.
anxiety would be through the roof. So I'm like, everyone's judging me.
Bro, you go
Everyone's judging me
you
since
go in
solo.
the afternoon. There's only like 2 people in there. You chilling.
My mom does
I'm
it
telling you.
weekly.
Does she?
So,
Oh,
Yeah,
it's the best feeling. It's so
It's a
relaxing.
Oh my
great
goodness.
feeling.
Say different movies are. No, I'm not gonna get into that. That's that.
Okay.
Was that last
Wait,
question?
Kenny, what was your opinion?
Little
Yeah.
pop move.
Same on my part.
Yeah. That's
Oh, yeah.
weird.
Oh yeah.
That's weird,
oh
guys.
yeah.
Okay, we're
Skin
gonna
eater,
open,
skin
we're gonna
eater
open
alert.
the DMs. We're gonna open the DMs. See the questions. We're gonna open the DMs. See what we got here.
Who's down in the DMs?
Who it's from?
Should I see who it's from?
It's going down in the DM segment.
Um,
This isn't our personal DMs. This is our podcast Instagram DMs. So I don't think you'd want to see them.
Okay,
Too
Brown.
many attempts by me on there. So.
A Brown asks, is there a theme for this podcast or just random discussions? Well, I mean,
I'd say it's definitely sports themed.
It's sports themes
But
because
it's
like
also
we're
sports
football
themed
people.
and like
Culture in general.
Well, like, hey, we just talked about Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like, it's
Pop
just
culture,
it's pop culture. Like, we're talking about anything.
anything that's
like,
relevant right
Also,
now.
like, we have a bunch of we're gonna expect to have a bunch of guests, so like, it has to do with them too. Like,
Yeah.
not only trying to get like sports ones, like. So sorry, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like
yeah, we got some interesting
Yeah.
guests coming
it's
on.
more just like talking like this,
We got
shooting
some
the shit.
interesting guests coming on.
Yeah, we got some interesting guests.
All right, here we go. We're gonna move to the next one. Marshall Morgan asks, this is funny. Does Mac at fullback really bring a new dynamic?
I didn't want to.
Football offense.
Yo, I didn't want to talk about this.
Listen, we're not gonna try to reveal stuff, but one thing's for sure is that having Mac at fullback is definitely a plus.
There we go.
offense.
That's
That's
a big
all-
dog.
that's
It's a
all-
big dog. That's all you gotta know. It's a big dog.
Yeah.
We need his grit on
Yeah,
the
it's a
side
big
wall.
dog.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good one. This is a
Just
good
want
one.
to do what I can for the team. That's what.
Daniel _Dugby asked, what are the top 5 albums since 2000? That's a little bit.
2000?
Is there a
Okay, let's go
genre?
top 3. Let's go top 3.
Is there a genre?
Deep.
No genre?
I think it's your own top 3.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, I
We're not gonna go top
You
5.
probably got like.
I would have to make
Oh,
like
Lord.
2
You like
hours
country and
Yeah,
stuff, right?
I like everything.
Do
I
you?
like a little bit of everything, yeah.
Okay,
Oh my
one
I was
for
thinking
sure.
TCU. You know, I saw you with
Tracy
cowboy
Chapman for me,
boots. So.
for sure, 100%.
What?
else is on there? Tracy Chapman.
Everyone's like pulling out their phone.
Yeah, I'm like I have to.
I'm not
think.
going.
I have no
All my
idea.
favorite albums came out in the 80s.
For me, honestly, for me, anything that has to do with like Kanye West or
The
J. Cole
trap.
is top. It's top for me. So whatever,
J.
like
Cole's
graduation,
overrated.
you know,
J.
Born
Cole's
Sinner, all those
overrated.
type of stuff, definitely top albums. For
You
me.
gotta go. You know what you gotta do? You gotta go to or like
Overrated.
the playlist.
You gotta think it's to 2002. Like that's Lil Wayne era too.
Oh god.
Where you go like
Carter
20,
3 is
top
one.
20,
Of
top
my,
Yeah,
25
Carter
most
three.
played.
Carter 3 goes hard.
Carter 3 is one of my favorite albums ever. Actually, when I think about it, Lil Wayne.
Like, don't just think about like right now. Like we're going like back.
That's the thing with this is like you're gonna be stuck being like a prisoner of the moment.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
like
I know.
being, like,
He's just affected by life in great
Yeah. He's just affected by life. I hear that though. Okay, like I'm going just like my 3. So like I'm gonna go like Kanye, probably like My Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Oh, yeah,
like that was like
classic.
that was like a
Yeah.
classic, man. Like
Oh,
I
yeah, no
love
doubt.
that for like Kanye, and then like honestly like first rap album I've ever heard was Outkast Roses.
Mhm.
You got, like that's a
That's
song,
pretty good, too.
Roses. That was the first song I've ever heard. I
Yeah.
had that on disc when I was like 7 years old, man.
Yeah.
And like I used to bump that. And like there's like a VHS attached to it, and like I watched the music video.
Yeah.
But like there's like naked chicks in it. I'm like 7 years old,
Oh, so
and so I have to like I'd like watch it and bump it, and then like my mom would come in, so I'd have to like change the channel real quick. Like it was
Yeah.
so heat, but like Yeah, like what album was that on? That wasn't I can't even pronounce it.
This is really hard.
Yeah,
The three
you
albums.
can't-
Yo, just think of like your three.
Okay, I'm
This is
gonna
how I
go-
think
I'm
of it. My
gonna
3 favorite like artists, and then like
Your favorite album?
yeah, album from them.
I'm gonna go Tracy Chapman, Fast Car. I'm gonna go 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying.
No, that was
Oh,
good.
that's my third.
My
Yeah,
last one.
that's my third.
I think I gotta go something.
Curtain Call.
No,
I'm gonna go.
I'm not a big Eminem guy.
I'm gonna go Views actually. Drake Views.
Yeah.
I think that album's a classic.
Actually,
It was good.
When I saw,
Views?
I think it
Yeah.
also like Mac's story. I feel like
Speaker
albums,
Box, the Love
I feel like
Below.
albums
Yeah,
are also
Speaker Box,
about,
Love Below.
I feel like albums are all about like what you were doing in that
When-
moment.
when-
yeah, like how
Yeah.
they affect
Like,
you.
yeah, like the roses.
Yeah.
Not
Like their story, to,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
your story, like I was in front of TV and my mom came out, like sweet,
Yeah,
you know, it
yeah.
like brings back memories. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when Views came out, like what was it, 2 summers ago now? It's like I remember just like being like home alone, like driving in the summer. There's like
I understand what
positive
you're saying.
vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's
Like that. Like
Alright.
what's that?
What's that album? What's that Drake album that came out when I was in like high school? Grade
Like
11?
Take Care.
Take care, maybe. Take a shot. for
Nothing
me.
was the same.
Yeah, nothing was the same. That was
Yeah, it was
that
okay.
cracks top 3 for you.
It was okay.
Top 3
That
though.
cracks top
Get
3.
Rich Die Trying too,
Dude,
because
like,
that's
like,
all I
I
listened
can't
to
remember
for
the
like
last
2
time I
years.
listened to like a full album that's like
Yeah.
came out recently.
I do that every single album. I do that. I front to back at least twice. Like not even shuffled. Like you have to get it in. Like for like top
Okay.
albums.
What about you?
I
Yeah.
don't really know. When I got my new phone, I lost all my music.
Oh.
But-
Stop
I
it.
know.
Stop
Yeah.
it.
No, but it's a lot to ask though.
That's
Like
a-
just like that. Oh, give me your favorite
I
album.
just did it. Why can't you? I
I
just
know,
did it.
like the Chili
Listen,
Peppers.
man,
I
I-
love the Chili
So
Peppers.
different.
Probably
They put on a great.
they have like a greatest hits album that came out in like
That's
2000.
I'm a big fan of just like
Greatest hits.
going on Apple Music
Yeah.
and going like
Or essentials.
Yeah.
what do you call it when you can have like the whole collection?
Discography.
Yeah, discography.
Yeah.
It's called.
Yeah,
That's like
or like the best
No,
hits.
essentials.
That's
Essentials.
it.
Like drink
Yeah.
essentials. Yeah.
Mhm.
What about you,
You
Lil
gotta
Pump?
be what's happening.
It's I would have to make like.
Just give
2
us
hour
3.
research
Like you give us like what? Okay, like top 3
Listen.
artists then. Just do top 3 artists.
Listen. With
Okay,
one of my
I
friends
feel
last
much more
week, I
comfortable
listened
with
to.
Okay, you guys can't do that.
Graduation.
Top 3 artists.
My friend last week bought a graduation disc of Kanye West for like $5, and we listened to it in the car, and it was like, oh man, that is actually awesome. So that's one of my
That's
favorites.
actually
No doubt.
awesome.
That is actually.
All right, JP.
So this, I'll probably add in some Lil Wayne stuff.
Lil Wayne,
yeah.
Kanye,
Yeah, so it's, you know.
Gucci Man.
You gotta go title.
I'm not a big Gucci man.
You
I like Gucci, but like it's not.
The Cardi 3, Cardi 4 was pretty good.
No, it's top 3 albums.
Yeah, but it's
No,
too
I
hard.
changed it to like
Oh,
artists.
okay.
Artists. Because like albums
I'm
stuff.
sorry. You guys
Oh,
can't
okay,
see
Tanner.
that.
Obviously, say you're 1.
Metallica's my one for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
For
Okay.
sure.
This guy's insane, man.
Uh,
I hated Metallica, and he started living with us, and now I have a playlist on my phone because of this guy. Like we rip it.
yeah. Neil Young.
Oh, I forgot Heart of Gold.
I'll put in Neil Young, and I'll say Pink Floyd is my third.
Pink Floyd.
Pink's good. Pink's good.
Yeah.
Off the wall.
Alright, here we go.
Next
You
one.
good? We're good. We're
Move on
good.
to the-
We got a comment
Okay,
from
my-
Kennedy.
I gave one answer. It's fine.
JC Legree
Oh,
came
Oh my
loaded
God.
with the questions.
Here we go.
let's go with a couple only from him.
Yeah,
Let
we're
me
only
guess some
JC. We
things.
can only go a couple. Okay, here we go.
This ain't a one-time thing.
Okay, should the CFL force teams to have more Canadian players on their rosters?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because just from a selfish perspective, yes.
But my whole thing
And
is,
like, let's grow the game.
No,
my whole thing is I've been like obviously in Ottawa for like all my life, and like I haven't really started paying attention to CFL since for like I don't know maybe a couple of years now.
Mhm.
But like you watch it not really for like the individual players, but just for like the game itself.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because we know what's
Yeah.
going on.
So like, my whole thing is like if and like the Ottawa Red Blacks the past couple of years have had like amazing turnout of like fans and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
my whole thing is like are you telling me that like if you replace the whole like starting defense with like just a bunch of
Like
Canadians
the
like
best of the best Canadians. Obviously.
yeah,
Same with the
do you
best.
think the fans would be like will come to the game like oh my god like where's like
No,
Yeah.
whatever you know what I mean?
Because those
Yeah,
guys
that's
are a
what I'm
dime a
saying.
dozen. Those guys are a dime a dozen.
Like
sometimes.
yeah, like it's like people come to
Like
watch
there's
because,
obviously
like,
stars,
yeah.
but then it's just like you'll hear about like a new cornerback, like a rookie cornerback coming in. Like,
yeah,
dominating
it's
the
like
league.
dude, fans come to watch the game like watch the game. I feel like it's
So
I think the
yeah,
fans
the NFL is like a
Yeah.
star driven league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can go to like a crappy like NFL like team, but like if they have one like splash play, like you go there
Yeah,
you
just to
see
watch
him in
him,
action.
right?
Still,
Yeah.
I think that the fans would actually enjoy the game more if there was.
Yeah,
more
I think
games.
it's nice.
But
But
no,
number
like,
of times I would
like
people-
think of it from the CFL's perspective. Like, I want the game to be like better quality.
Yeah,
And I feel
of
like
course.
sometimes, like, I'm not saying all of youth sport is like this, but like there's obviously top tier new sport, and then like if you're gonna populate the CFL team with more Canadians,
I'm not saying it makes
Americans are like
No, not
traditionally
total
better.
Canadian.
Yeah, obviously, like I like 5 spots,
Like,
but
like the number has to be.
yeah, and I really think like the ratio rule with the QB is wacky. You know what this is? Like they just don't like. You have to have a certain amount of Canadians and a certain amount of Americans, and then there's a third category for QBs. Like if you're a Canadian QB, that should be a good thing. Like
doesn't make sense.
Dude, like it's I think it's been like that rule or like that view of the quarterback position as a quarterback has just been like diminished for such a long time. It's like
it's so
you don't even get the
permanently
opportunity.
tainted.
But think about it. Jesse Mills or quarterback, Jesse Mills probably had a better chance of making an NFL roster than the CFL roster. Because like Jesse Mills, you see him was like 6'4" or whatever. It was like like powerful arm. But the CFL is like if you can't run, then you can't do it. But then when you have a guy like Picton out of Saskatchewan. Regina, sorry. It's like, okay, he can run, but like, he doesn't have.
He's 5'5".
Then you have like, who's that?
Brandon Bridges.
Who's that? Sinopoli. Sinopoli came out as a quarterback, Heck Creighton, whatever. But it's like, he's mobile, he's 6'3", but it's like, what's the next excuse? You know what I mean? Like, it's like
it's very hard to crack. So why don't you allow that Canadian thing to be like an asset? Like Brandon Bridges. He's just doing it himself. He's Canadian, but he's just doing it himself. Like he's just in the league. Like you would see so many more Canadians on roster, and like we named a few names there. Like there's talented Canadian QBs. Like look at Michael O'Connor too. Michael O'Connor.
This year's gonna be really exciting because Merchant and O'Connor are both like big and like capable of running and like making I'm still mad about like Jesse Mills, for example. Like I think he has the arm talent and the mental fortitude and like physical ability to be on a CFL roster.
But it's crazy because my example is like he would have a better chance making an NFL roster than making a CFL roster.
If an NFL team like watched him like just like take a 3-step drop and throw a ball 75 yards, they would shit their pants.
Like he'd just rip it. Oh my gosh, and just look at him.
It's like, dude, you have to understand your fan base, I think, man. And I think there's such a scare of like eliminating American players. It's like, oh my god, like what does the game give you without them? But like, dude,
you can still have them. You can still have the star guys like that.
Most of the star guys in the league are Canadian.
No.
There is some Americans, but like
Bo Levi. Like the stars of the CFL. There's stars that are Canadian, yes, but like the top tier are American.
But also makes like a kind of a good point is that anytime there's like a really, really good Canadian, they get so much more publicity.
Yes,
people
you're
right. What's his name? Cornish?
No, he's a long time ago. Trevor Harris.
He was always like he always was like best Canadian. Like he got so much more publicity because he was from Canada. You know what I mean? They talked like he was more impressed that he did it because he's Canadian.
You know what I mean?
Like Loeffler too, out in Winnipeg. Like he's getting a lot of publicity for being a good Canadian, even though he played
the receivers. There's a few receivers at the time.
Singletary too. Singletary Canadian. Like guys like that. Like, they get a lot, but like who knows?
Okay, here we go. Next question. We got D_up2.5 says would you rather cheat on your girlfriend and get a side girl pregnant, or your girl cheats on you and it's not your baby?
Wait, say that again?
Okay, so
that's a 180.
So would you rather cheat on your partner and get another person pregnant, okay? Or your girlfriend or significant other cheats on you and it's not your baby?
I can't cheat on my girlfriend. So I couldn't do something like that.
So
my conscience would not be okay.
I think I'd rather
get cheated on than just break up with her? Like enjoy the baby?
Yes, 100%.
I feel like, but like, what if you like seriously care about them? Like, it's just like no. What do you seriously care about them? From a little pup perspective, like 21, like, what if it's like you're 35, you spend your whole life with this woman?
It is,
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like,
she had a baby with somebody else? What?
Yeah, I know, but like, I know.
No, my God.
I hear you. That's childish. Okay, I'm flipping it. What do you care about? Oh, that's a soundbite right there. Oh, that's a soundbite.
Kenny, what do you think?
I can't really answer that one.
Okay, I guess we have to.
I can't. You'd have to reword it. I can't get someone else pregnant.
That's a weird question.
That's
a weird question.
It could just be changed around, though.
No, not really.
Whoa!
Okay, let's get think about that.
I would be the one pregnant in every situation.
What if you had like a there's already a family made. What if the family already made, and would you rather do the cheating, or would you rather find out you got cheated on? That's dark stuff. That's some dark stuff. But the question we just asked, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I couldn't cheat.
So you'd rather get cheated on than cheat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Write a song about it or something?
Yeah, something.
Good Simcoe girl right there.
One more, Ocho. One more.
Okay, here we go. Okay, we actually have a couple good ones though. I don't want to leave anything out.
Yeah, no.
Okay, hold on. Okay, A_Hamidi52 asks.
Sorry, who?
A_Hamidi52.
Is your boy?
Yeah,
Myers?
okay. He asks,
Is he on the Shijis?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, we're all over the place right now.
I know,
Our
I
fan base is all over the place. He says, will the podcast stay together when you guys make it big? And who will be the first person to break
Dude,
out?
I'm not gonna lie. We've had some issues. Yeah,
we've
we've had some issues going in this first
Yeah.
pod. A lot of leaving.
A lot of behind the scenes.
Yeah,
stuff
a lot of
that's
messenger
happening.
leaving of groups, stuff like that. But we've held strong. We've held strong.
hey,
But
we're
honestly,
good.
like first one to
We're
leave, Big B.
Big
Obviously.
B for sure.
You're too emotional, my
Big
guy.
B
I
for
You're
sure.
too emotional.
I don't even act on emotion.
But
Oh
hey,
my God,
Hey,
Big
if you get Big B, might do his own thing. Go so
Yeah,
hard.
yeah,
I
so-
was, Big B, I was calling you. Yeah, Big B, I was calling to hype beast today, and like you weren't talking to me. Like you're pissed at me.
Because it does not make sense.
Like it ruined
Listen,
it ruined your entire day.
we're
We're gonna
not-
go on the field
we're
and you
not
couldn't
gonna-
because you're just so flustered.
We're not
Like-
gonna get
like,
into
if it's
a
like- if it
discussion with this.
This
'cause
is what it's
it-
for.
What you said made no
This is
sense.
what
What do you say?
Oh yeah, explain it.
Listen. He said it's more hype beast to buy.
I did not say anything. I did not say that.
Let him go, let him
Okay,
go.
I'll let him go and then I'll
It's
say the
more
rest.
hype beast
Yeah.
to buy a Carmelo Anthony Nuggets jersey
Yeah.
I didn't say
than
that.
to buy a DeMar DeRozan purple
I
Raptors
didn't say
jersey.
that. I
What did
did
you
not
say?
say that.
What did you say?
Okay, so the question was, yeah, I was chirping him for he's wearing a Celtics Garnett jersey, and I'm like, his initial thing was like, oh, I love Kevin Garnett. I'm like, why would you not get his Timberwolves jersey? Like that's where he's drafted his best years. He's like, oh well, like I sort of like the Celtics. So I'm like, okay, like that makes sense.
You didn't even say
Yes,
that.
you did. You said, oh, I sort of like the color, like it's a
You know,
Celtics. It's
you know,
it's
you
the
see- you see
prestige
what
of it.
he's-
Can I talk? I let you talk.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm like, okay. And then he's like, oh, my next jersey I want to get is a Denver Nuggets Mellow jersey.
That-
I'm like, that's sort of a little hype beast for him. And you're like, oh, why? Like, is it just which is more hype beast? DeMar DeRozan purple like Raptors old jersey or Mellow jersey? I'm like, I think both are, but like,
I said neither.
yeah. Like you can have your opinion on this, but like
I was on the,
Tanner's
I was
like
on the
that.
couch and Mac came up to me randomly and asked me. I
Yeah,
said,
straight up, and he's like, no.
First
And
of
like,
all,
you can have your own opinion on it.
What's the question? What's the question of the?
The question is like he thinks it's not hype beast to get like old school throwback jerseys, and I'm like it's sort of a little hype beast. Like you're getting the old Denver Nuggets like jersey, like
Yeah.
like it's.
I think it's chill. I think it's chill.
I understand what you're saying, but like I'm
Phil,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're a
I'm a
jersey guy.
collector.
You're a collector guy.
Okay.
But like whenever you're such a big LeBron fan, like Big B, like
Yeah.
it's a little
Yeah,
hype
but
beast.
I
For all-
also
for all
love
the-
basketball in general.
for all
bro.
the
It's
fans
not-
I know, but like you're ride or die. You're ride or die, man. Like we go at it about LeBron.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you can't don't put on for the pod.
People-
Don't put on for the pod.
Yeah,
Like,
people will see
don't put
in
on for the
upcoming
pod. Don't
podcast.
put on for the pod.
Alright,
You
People
know
will
what it is.
see in the upcoming
We'll go
podcast.
last question. Here we go. Sarah_Rometti asks, who is the biggest big dog you know, and who's the biggest puppy you know?
Raheem's the biggest puppy.
I'm not gonna go into arguments here,
We gotta keep
just for
going.
the sake of the podcast.
Yeah,
But
this could cause an eruption.
Who's the
Biggest big dog I know, Jade Rowe.
Yeah, shout out Showtime. Shout out
I
Showtime.
don't
He's a
know.
he's a businessman.
He's
Shout out
he's
Showtime.
a
He's
big dog.
about his business.
Yeah, okay. Biggest puppy.
Big dog Samara.
Okay.
That's
Samara's a
Samara.
big dog.
Yes.
Samara's the biggest
Yes,
big dog I
yes.
know. He's got his hands everywhere.
Yeah.
He's got his hands in
Yeah, that's
everywhere.
good.
Little pup legit, obviously not Big B.
I don't want to make anyone mad.
I'm not gonna name names. Big B's up there though.
Tanner just wrote Josh Lambo.
That's all right.
No,
That's
that's
all
not
right.
right.
Okay, I don't
Shout out
know.
Lambo.
I don't know. I'm gonna say my brother. Just
Hodo?
yeah, just
Hodo or
I'm
your young bull
gonna say
Eunice?
Ono. I'm gonna say Ono.
Not your young bull?
Big dog or puppy?
Chill.
He's a puppy. He's a
He's a
big
little
puppy.
puppy.
Ono's more big dog than Papa. You didn't know that.
Nah, he's Josh. How
Little
about
puppy.
you, Kennedy?
Who's the biggest little?
Big dog. I like Steve.
Yeah.
Samara's like, yeah, he's an OG.
He's just
OG.
great.
Aurora.
He's helped me so much with where I am,
Oh, yeah?
and
That's awesome.
I have nothing but respect for him.
Yeah.
He's so great.
Mm-hmm.
Puppy, that's tough. Are we?
The whole Ottawa UGG's football
Yeah.
team.
Kyle Van
Baker
Weinsberg's a little
Mayfield.
pup.
Yeah, yeah.
Kyle Van Weinsberg is a
Sell out.
is a-
Sorry,
Sell out.
KY.
Not sorry.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your little? Come on, give a little. Give a little. Come
I'm
on.
thinking.
Yeah, this one's hard because you don't want to.
You don't want to offend someone.
Yeah.
I just offended the whole GG's team. So
It's okay.
We have a few watchers in them too. Shout out.
Did you give yours?
Yeah, we have some. Max is about to get us just like killed on social media.
Nah.
Shouting out. Okay, here we go. Anything? Can you think of anything?
sort of kidding. I mean, you guys are good guys.
I don't know.
No.
Not really.
Okay.
You got any? You already said yours,
So,
right?
like, his biggest big dog, you know, personally, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Can't go
you
Tom
can't-
Brady.
I saw the name and I was like,
Puppy, I'm saying Mayfield.
Oh, Mayfield.
My hatred for him
Yeah.
is up there.
Okay.
I'm so mad at this. Okay, so this is what songs are we interested in? So it's a one song each. Currently, like right now, like what are you bumping? Like what's your song? What song? Big B first.
I've
There's been
been
a lot of recently, so.
I've been listening to a lot of Kids See Ghosts recently. Kid Cudi.
Okay.
So anything from the album is pretty good to me.
Love One's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
The one with all the
pretty
animal
good album,
sounds.
man. Pretty good album, man.
I'm going Couldn't Stay in the Weather by Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble.
Oh.
That's
No idea.
Yeah.
Search it up if you want
Is it a banger?
It's probably a banger.
This is what this is for though. Like
Yeah,
diversify
Okay.
music.
I've been listening to J Rock Redemption album.
Oh, that's a great album,
it's
actually.
fire.
Yeah.
No, what song though?
I'm getting
We can do
albums.
albums too.
Okay, so shout out to my French viewers. I've been listening to Karis,
Oh,
Zoo.
no.
That stuff that bangs, man. I don't understand a word of it. It's all
Oh, yeah?
he's from Ivory Coast. He's from France. And
French
like
rapper?
he's French, man. Like it's like I have no idea what's going
I
on.
don't know how I'd feel
but it
about
just
that.
bumps.
That's
He talks
weird.
about-
No. Someone gave me a translation. It's like it's whatever. When you listen to rap music, this is the normal stuff. But like, dude, it's like angry. I like it. Like it gets you in the right frame of mind.
Guy's
The
a
real
killer,
question
man.
is
He's not a rapper.
listening to
he's a
music you don't understand to as bad as going to a movie alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
That's a good question.
No.
That's a good question.
No, because
That's a
like
good
people
question.
listen to just like sounds like
I mean, both
EDM
are
and
weird.
stuff.
We're all weird.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it's a
EDM just
vibe.
sounds. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Dude,
Okay.
trying to expose mans.
Okay. You're up, Kenny. What's up?
I like. Okay, so there's a singer from Texas. His name's Cody Johnson. It's country music. He's amazing. Every one of his albums. So I've been listening to that a lot. It depends really what I'm in the mood for. Also, Demi Lovato just released a song called "Sober," which is so emotional.
She's beautiful.
I don't watch it or I don't listen to it because it's just super emotional. But it's got a good story if you want to go check it out.
I heard she just relapsed.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Oh.
She was sober for 6 years, relapsed a couple weeks ago,
I haven't seen
and
Demi since Camp Rock.
wrote a song about it.
Oh no, I got her on Snap. Fire.
Oh my
I told you
goodness.
that.
Yeah, I know you did.
It's like creepy stuff right there.
Yeah,
It's fire.
just like huge shout out for her for talking
Yeah, that's-
about that. That's gotta be tough.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Okay. So I think that wraps it up for the first episode today.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive how we rolled.
I think it was good because like I was never like nervous. It was like
Yeah, it was just chill vibes. I think that's where we're
Well,
going.
hey, the viewers will tell. The
Yeah.
viewers will tell. Yeah.
Oh wait, we gotta thank Kennedy for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Kenny,
you for
what
having
people
me.
know what you're up to.
Hey, plug yourself.
Yeah.
Plug yourself.
Any charities you wanna give a shout out to?
Oh my
where
goodness,
you
not
going
yet.
to?
I'm not that big yet. I gotta.
No. Seriously, Instagram, Twitter handle, like,
What do you-
give it a go. Like, all
Oh.
5 viewers are gonna
What do you
appreciate
do
it.
All
the
right.
next couple weeks?
Next couple weeks, I'm off to work with the Carolina Panthers. I'll be working with them for preseason and training camp, which is at Wofford College. I'll be living there in the dorm life for a little bit.
Oh, I love dorm life.
And that'll be pretty cool to get to experience. And then I'm back to TCU to work for TCU's football team for my senior year and hopefully find some work with the Dallas Cowboys a little bit. And yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Last question of the day: what's TCU's record looking like this year?
Oh,
Yes.
we're
Just
going all the way.
give a
We're going
number.
all the way.
Just give a
up.
number. Just give a number.
Well, we've been 10 plus wins for the
10-3?
last
10-3. Like, what are
whatever.
we
I'm gonna say
talking?
yeah. 10.
Yeah, just conservative. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Hey, shout out Jay Willie for the intro and outro music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay.
And tune in next week. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yep. Keep it posted.
I am victorious. I rap it big and notorious. Ran up the plug and he did it again. Whipping and whooping you rappers will hang. I told you we back at it. I told you we getting lit. People be doubting they sleeping on us. Dream team, that's where I put in my trust. I am victorious.